Before we get to the end, do you want to talk about the movie we watched?
Which one?
Godzilla.
Oh, yes. Oh, bro, how did I forget about it?
I'm not going to lie. You went straight to DC, and I thought, are we not going to talk about it?
I completely forgot. Godzilla Minus One. Let's move on. Yeah. We're moving on to Godzilla Minus One.
Before we continue the DCEU talk, yes, we both saw Godzilla Minus One this past weekend.
It's the Lame Guys Podcast.
Christmas is coming up. Have you gotten all your Christmas shopping done?
Nope.
Me either.
Nope. I have a majority. I just need, I think, like 4 more people, and that's it.
I have a list on my phone, and I tallied up everybody. We need to get 14 people gifts for Christmas.
You have 14 in total, or like you
14,
still need 14?
No, 14 in total. And then I think we have about, we don't have that many. I think we probably have about like six people left. We're supposed to do a lot this weekend.
Yeah, I'm about to say we're just waiting for payday.
Yeah, but I mean, bro, I was thinking about it. As an adult, dude, Christmas is not fun at all. Not fun at all. I just think, bro, I'm just spending money this whole time. I'd have so much more money if it wasn't Christmas right now. Like, it's just, yeah, I don't know.
Luckily we get paid 3 times.
Yeah, so do I.
So
or Teresa does. Yeah,
Teresa does. Okay, yeah. And since me and Emily are now on the same pay period. So
that's how it's been for me and Teresa for a long time.
I'm about to say, we don't like it.
Yeah.
We don't like it. Typically is when one goes broke, the other one gets paid. And when that one goes broke, then, so this one kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But, what you call it? Yeah, we're just waiting for next one, and then we'll eliminate all the gifts. And I think at that point, it's just wrapping everything and calling it a day.
Yeah. I got a Christmas bonus for my job.
Oh, nice.
And it just sucks because
It's already gone?
No, well, so I get it tomorrow, technically.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's just going towards gifts, pretty much. Like, it's just going towards the credit card, like the excursions that we bought for our cruise and everything. Like, it's just going straight to paying it off. So,
do you think we should film a little bit and show off on the cruise?
Post it. I don't know. I don't really think so. I mean, I personally just want to enjoy it. Like, I don't want to have to. I want to try to get everything done. That way, like,
we can go to some young people over there and be like, "Hey, what's your favorite movie?" And like get a mic towards.
I mean, maybe, yeah. I don't know. I do really just want to enjoy it.
No, yeah.
But I guess if we're bored or something, maybe that wouldn't be too hard. But I want to have like the episode filmed. I want to have it ready to be posted. I want to have our clips on our phone. That way, we just have to literally post them that day. Like, I don't want to have to do anything. If we decide that we want to do something, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I don't want to have to do anything.
No, yeah, I agree.
But yeah, bro. So we have about 6 people left for Christmas. So also Willy Wonka comes out this week. Are you gonna go see it
this week? No. Am I going to see it in general? Yes. If I want to try to see honestly, for my family, we haven't discussed Christmas at all.
What? Like
plans wise or anything like that. I don't know if we're doing the same plans as last year.
Typically we see a movie.
Yeah, we stole your family's idea and we tried to do a movie on Christmas. It's nice. Yeah. Honestly, it's really nice.
It's funny. We said we would never be those people too.
Yeah, because we worked at the movies and we kept on saying, "Why would you do this on Christmas?" And then we became that.
I know.
But no, it's nice. Yeah, it's really nice. If I had to, I think I'm gonna be too eager to see or to wait for Aquaman. So I think I'm gonna watch Aquaman fast. I definitely want to go see Iron Claw. But I think Wonka would be a family, like the Christmas movie we do.
Oh, you think so?
I think so.
So my family, we're gonna try to see. So my siblings don't care about Aquaman movie. So I think we're gonna go see Iron Claw.
I remember you mentioned
on Christmas.
That one,
yeah. Aquaman, I'll probably already watch it before Christmas. Yeah. I say that, but it's taking us forever to watch movies now. Wonka comes out. We're filming this today, so tomorrow's Friday, so it comes out tomorrow.
Oh wait, does it come out tomorrow? I thought it came out
today.
Twice.
Today, actually, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So me and Teresa may go see it tomorrow because tomorrow's my 3-day weekend.
Nice.
And so after Christmas shopping, we may go see it. I don't know. I would prefer to see like Aquaman or something, but Wonka's the only thing that comes out this week. So
Aquaman comes out 22nd. Yeah, and so does Iron Claw.
Yeah. So Iron Claw will probably be our Christmas movie, and then Aquaman, I'll try to see it when it comes out, which I probably won't actually because that's Christmas weekend, isn't it?
I guess technically, yeah.
Yeah, it's that Thursday.
Because Christmas Eve is Sunday.
Yeah, it's that Thursday, and so I guess if I have an opportunity to go, like maybe like Friday or Saturday, but
we'll try to do it.
Yeah,
try to figure it out. But Episode 10.
Yeah, episode 10. We're here.
Episode 10.
Lame Guys Podcast, episode 10. I'm Mario. This is Vincent. We made it to 10, bro. I'm sorry we don't have anything surprising. Maybe when hopefully if we start making like some money from this, like maybe we could do something big.
Different.
Yeah, maybe then we could do like episode 100 on a cruise or something.
Yep.
But as of now, this is all you get. I mean, we're just here, so.
But still having a good time.
Yeah. What would you say out of all 10 episodes is your favorite episode? If you had,
what's funny is every
one.
single time we're done with one, I always say, "God, that was fun. That was good." But it's literally after every one, I think that's my favorite. So this episode 9, I thought was my favorite because I feel like we just get more and more natural. The flow of things are getting a little easier. I'm just enjoying it a lot more.
Right. I would say, I would say we're getting better each time. I feel like there's obviously little tweaks that we need to make, but that's to be expected. I mean, we've never done anything.
We're still
like
pretty
this,
green.
So yeah. But yeah, I would say I agree. I think every episode, like, I definitely like the episodes where we have eventful stuff to talk about. When there's nothing going on, it makes it a lot harder.
Yeah, it was hard when the strikes were still going on.
Yeah, like our first, I would say probably like our first 3 or so episodes.
Kind of hard.
It was kind of hard just to like figure out what to talk about. The Spider-Man game saved us.
Yeah,
because that gave us a good chunk of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, that was a whole episode, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, when it came out,
it was good.
Well, yeah, but it was good because we were able to rank the Spider-Man games or Spider-Man movies, and then we gave our game rankings. So yeah, I don't know what off the top of my head was my favorite episode, but I agree. I think we're getting better each time. We wanted to try out a new segment. It's called Tweets of the Week.
So basically, it's throughout the week, some tweet pops up. If it's worthy to repeat it, at least on here, we're going to try to save it and let you guys know what it's about. Because, I mean, it could be something really big, or I'm not going to say anything small because at that point, it's not going to be worth it.
But also, this episode, by the time this episode comes out, that tweet has already been out for like a week and a half or so. Yeah. So you guys have probably already seen it, but we just feel like these tweets are worth discussing over. We may not do it every week, but I think it'd be cool just to we send each other a lot of stuff on Twitter that we forget to talk about on the podcast. So I want to make a note to like start remembering them and talk about them on here.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first or do you want me to?
Go for
it. So I have 2 tweets, both from discussing film. The first one, Insomniac leaks show a possible Spider-Verse game. What's your thoughts on that?
First off, I hate that they got leaked or hacked.
Right.
They got hacked. But a Spider-Verse game would be really, really fun. My only thing is, so was it just going to be just like the movie? And if so, if we need another Miles game, then just go back and play the Miles Morales Spider-Man game. Yeah. So do you think this one would be like Gwen, 2099? Maybe Spider-Punk? Do you think it'll be the other characters other than Miles? Or
yeah, I mean, that's a good point. So, spoiler alert, if you haven't played Spider-Man 2, in Spider-Man 2, once you collect all the bots,
the Spider-Bots.
It connects to the Spider-Verse. Well, the bots even connect to Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
But the ending scene at that definitely connects to it.
Yeah.
But I guess you're right, because we already do have a Miles.
I was thinking about that.
And Spider-Man 3 technically, supposedly, is going to be his game, based off assumptions that we've made. So then, I guess, how do you make a game with that Miles from Spider-Verse? So maybe it could be another character. That's
the
true.
One thing
it's a good point.
We were discussing is like, me and Marco was like, if you, why have another Miles game?
Right.
Just go back and play the Miles Morales game. And then, you're right. When Spider-Man 3 comes out, we're just going to have a second Miles Morales game. So at that point, I'll take a Miguel game. I would. Give me futuristic stuff with him. Give me Gwen. I'd be happy with that. Spider-Punk would be cool.
What about Peter with the kid?
That'd be fun.
That would be cool.
That'd be fun too. But at the same time, I'm not gonna lie. I see the third Spider-Man game. MJ and Peter having a kid already, so that could do that.
I don't really. I've been trying to think how a game like Spider-Verse ties into. I feel like it makes it confusing almost. I mean, definitely I would play it, of course. But would it be cool if you got to switch? You got to see other Spider-Mans, like maybe not characters, but you got to see the Spider people that we've seen. You get to play a little bit as each in their own universes. That'd be cool. Maybe cool. tie it in somehow. What
if they do? So spoiler if you haven't seen Across Spider-Verse. I mean, what's wrong with you? But dude, what if we get a backstory? What if the game? Let's say the game comes out before Beyond the Spider-Verse, which I don't think it will. But let's say if it did, and we get to see the Prowler Miles, his backstory with that game too.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I was gonna ask, the older Spider-Man games are pretty much about the old movies. What if it's just a replay of
I'd love it.
Across the Spider-Verse? I would too.
I would love
even
it.
Though we've
even
played
though I know what's going on.
Yeah, even though we've already seen the movie, I would love to just play it. Yeah, that would be cool too. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. And then so Insomniac did get hacked, and my next tweet is hackers hacked Insomniac, and they apparently stole information on the Wolverine game, and they're asking for 50 Bitcoin, which is about 2 million, I think. How crazy is that? They're threatening to release everything.
That's insane. So you know me, when it comes to games, I feel the same way like movies. I don't want to know the spoilers. But at the same time, for a Wolverine game, okay, you're just gonna show me what he looks like. I know what he looks like. Yeah. Who cares? Because we've already seen those photos, or like the apparent photos of what it looks like. It looks like it's gonna be a third-person Wolverine game. Cool.
Yeah.
Great.
I was thinking, what could they release that would ruin the game? I don't. They're
gonna say Sabretooth's in it. Great.
Yeah, like
good job.
Cool. You hype me up even more. Like I'm if I'm Insomniac, I'm thinking, okay. I mean, what could you release? I guess maybe you could release like the whole final battle, and maybe that would kind of ruin it all. But
maybe
even
the
then,
cameos
like
that are going to pop up in it.
Yeah, I mean, but even then, I mean, for me, that just makes me more excited to play the game. I mean, it's
another thing they talked about. Along with that tweet is saying that they have information about certain employees Insomniac has.
I saw that too.
And including Yuri Lowenthal, who is the voice of Spider-Man.
Yeah. What do you think that information is?
I don't know.
He's gay.
No,
I don't know. I just
no, you can't say that, bro. His wife is literally Yuri in the game.
Is she really?
Yeah. That's his wife. So he talks about it's weird saying Yuri, but that's my name.
Yeah,
but I'm calling my wife Yuri.
Yeah. I thought that was weird too. I don't know what kind of information. I mean, they could have.
But they specifically said Yuri Lowenthal. So why? I have no idea.
It's crazy, bro. I picked these tweets because I work in IT now, and so hacking stuff interests me so much. And my boss has me listen to a podcast. It's called Darknet Diaries. And it pretty much just goes over, it's just, and every episode is different, and it either is a story about how this person got hacked, or it's a story from the hacker, and he tells you like how he got into this person's stuff.
Oh, wow.
And bro, it is so scary. But there's one story on there that reminds me of this, and it's the Xbox Underground. And it's pretty much a group of Xbox players, and they would hack their Xbox, and then they found a way to hack into Microsoft and like who's the company that makes Gears of Wars? Is it Activision? It's not Activision.
Is it?
It's Epic Games. Isn't it Epic Games?
I have no idea.
I
never played the Gears of War.
Okay, I want to say it's one of those companies, and they even hacked into those companies, bro, and got to play Gears of War 3 before it was even before they were done fully like editing and stuff. So like Marcus was like purple or something they were playing they were able to play pretty much the whole game before it even came out, and then they'd sell it to other people. Like it was just crazy, and I just think, bro, like that's wild. And I talk about it with my boss because he used to hack his Xbox, and he got to play like different stuff.
For real?
Yeah. And I just think like I never thought about like once just opening my Xbox and like trying to hack these things or anything like that.
I'm
like
just
it's
scared to even touch
it's
that.
so crazy how some people, bro, like they for real know how to do. So I just found it very interesting, and it reminded me of the Xbox Underground story. So yeah, I thought it was interesting. But you want to go with your tweets?
No, yeah. That's insane. That's crazy. Your boss did.
I'm telling you, dude. So yeah, my boss, he's a big computer guy, so he's hacked a bunch of stuff. And then let's see. The Darknet Diaries podcast. I mean, if you ever want an insight on like tech stuff, that's such a good podcast for someone who doesn't know anything about it, because the stories on there, some of them are scary.
I don't know why I'm over here trying to go to our messages.
Oh, did you save the tweets?
I keep on forgetting. Okay, so mine is about Avatar 4. Some details came out for that. I don't know why they're releasing Avatar 4 details when we only have 3.
Yeah.
But whatever. Okay,
three's supposed to come out next year?
Is it?
Oh, I'm just asking.
I have
when
no
is it?
idea. I thought it was like 2 years away.
2025?
I thought.
Oh, okay.
Sucks. But okay, Avatar 4. It's going to have a 6-year time jump from I'm guessing just from now, but it says filming continues right after Avatar 3 releases.
Yeah.
So it's going to have a 6-year time jump. We're going to continue filming after Avatar 3, which I honestly thought they were done filming.
I thought they were done with 3. They were just editing. But
no, what I mean is I thought they were...
Oh, done with 4?
Yeah, so when they were making 2, I swore I heard them say that they were filming 2, 3, 4 all back to back. That's why it was taking so long.
Maybe the strikes messed some stuff up. I have no idea.
A possibility as well. Okay. So a lot of studios like to get feedback on scripts of like what you can and can't do and everything like that. It's James Cameron. He's one of the GOATs in Hollywood. You just don't bet against him, honestly. I mean, look at his resume. He has for the longest time, he had the highest grossing film with Titanic.
Yeah.
And then Avatar as well. I mean, so yeah. So basically the studio would typically give notes back. Said the script got 0 notes from the studio. All they had to say was, holy fuck.
So pretty much what I have to say on that is I believe it.
Yeah.
I love Avatar 1 and I love the second Avatar that came out. I think they are beautiful movies and I enjoyed them both and I can watch both of them multiple times. So I fully believe it. I think 3 is going to be epic and I think 4 is going to be epic. So I believe that tweet.
The kicker is it will release in theaters December 21st, 2029.
Yeah. That's crazy. How old are we going to be?
I don't know.
Wait, what year are we in now?
You know what's funny is I just think about how old are the girls going to be.
Oh, they'll be old, dude. So wait, 2029?
2029.
They'll be
7 years.
They'll be 7.
They'll be 7.
They were born in 2022.
And that's crazy to think about.
It is crazy.
Because the last
we'll be in our 30s.
Way of Water came out last year.
We'll be in our 30s.
Wow.
That
sucks.
Dude. Yeah. Do you believe that though? Do you believe that the studio definitely was just like no?
Yeah. Like I said, there's a select few of directors that the studios will just say go for it.
Right.
I look at Cameron as one of them. I look at Spielberg as one of them. I look at Nolan as one of them. I'm sure they'll have some insight, but as far as script wise, they just go like just you've already made us so much money. Here's your freedom. Have fun. So with James Cameron making all these sequels for the first Avatar that brought the studio $1 billion, or no, was it $2 billion?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so whatever. They brought them over $1 billion. Yeah, just have fun.
When I hear the 6-year time jump, you know what I think of? I think Sully. I think Sully's gonna die.
Yeah.
And then the third one will be about the son that we got that lived. You know.
Yeah.
I see him taking it as over as the main guy. When I hear a 6-year time jump, I think Sully's dead.
Way of Water was so good.
Oh, I loved it, bro. I loved it.
So
I watched it the other day on TV, actually.
Did you?
It was on, yeah.
No, I have not watched it since it came in theaters. I think I watched it twice in theaters, and it was still so great.
Yeah, it was great.
Beautiful movie. God, the water and everything like that looked great.
I know. I thought if I was an Avatar person, that's where I'd live.
Yeah. Okay. The second tweet I have. So apparently a couple of creators or content creators and influencers were invited to Disney Studios.
Yeah, how do we get on that list, bro?
Eventually.
How do we?
Maybe by episode 50 or something. I don't know, bro. So, one of them being Angel, we've seen him on, was it
Blu-ray Angel or whatever?
Yeah, Blu-ray Angel. Yeah. He posted that Marvel Studios just announced, or Marvel Studios has just announced Marvel Animation at the What If Season 2 event. So they apparently showed them 2 episodes of What If Season 2, which lucky. But then they got to see upcoming footage for new shows. We already knew about X-Men 97 that's coming out, which is going to be obviously the old animated series X-Men just revamped. The new show for your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Which I want to say
it was Homecoming, wasn't it?
Was it Homecoming? No, freshman year.
Freshman year, that's what it was.
It was Spider-Man freshman year.
Yes.
So they got to see some footage for that. They also got to see they were also told What If Season 3 is already confirmed, which is big news. But apparently a show I don't know about, or either I forgot about it or I didn't know about it. Eyes of Wakanda.
I didn't know about that one. When I read that, I didn't know about it.
I think to tie in, I saved another tweet of it. Throughout Wakandan history, brave warriors have been tasked to travel the world retrieving dangerous vibranium artifacts, and this is their story. So I wonder if it's going to follow maybe T'Chaka's dad, like just the pure history of maybe all the Black Panthers or something. Yeah. That'd be pretty cool.
I think that show would be amazing. Yeah. I mean, and it's perfect because that's what's so good about animation is you can do all these things, and you don't have
no one's going to question it.
Yeah, and you don't have to wait on a movie budget or anything like that. Yeah, I think that would be amazing. I would be so interested. All those shows sound interesting to me. I'm excited for the Spider-Man one too. Is Tom Holland voicing? Is it
I
no?
have no idea, to be honest.
Or is it a different Spider-Man?
I have no idea.
Because it's about Tom Holland Spider-Man,
I
isn't it?
want to say yes.
It's before we saw him.
I think it's before we saw him, because I thought the photo the concept photo they use is his suit. Unless I'm wrong, but
I want to say it's about him, and it's about this is our true origin story. I would say, I guess, like where we see him get bit by a spider. I would assume.
Do you think we see the Uncle Ben thing him dying? Or
I don't know. So does he have an Uncle Ben? They've never mentioned him. I don't think our Spider-Man has an Uncle Ben. Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Well, we know Ben didn't say the whole "with great power comes great responsibility" because May says that.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I feel like he only had an Aunt May. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, she probably had a husband, I would assume, but But I don't know if Tom Holland's Peter, had an Uncle Ben because he never mentions them.
Yeah, I mean, because he never mentions them. We never see him, so I never really think about
Even when Andrew and Toby were in Spider-Man 3, and they brought up how it was Uncle Ben for them, like Tom didn't say anything. So I don't think our Tom Holland has a Uncle Ben. I don't know.
So they mentioned. I remember them saying that's the word. That's what was told to them when Ben died, and I remember seeing on Tom's face like it affected him. So he obviously must know a Ben,
maybe, but I have no idea. Yeah, I'm just going based off from what I can remember from the Spider-Man movies. I don't recall a time where our Peter has talked about Uncle Ben at all. But yeah, it's very interesting. Okay, so you want to move on?
Yeah, let's go.
Aquaman is coming out soon, so we figured let's do some DC talk. As disappointing as it is, I mean, it's Aquaman time, so DC is kind of in the news right now. Hype level for Aquaman 2.
I'll say on a scale from 1 to 10, I'm like at a 7.
I'm at like a 6. And
that's not that bad.
I love Aquaman 1, but it's just this has nothing. It's going nowhere.
That's the thing that we keep on saying about all these DC projects right now is that it's just going nowhere, and it's sad to say. This is the last time we're going to see this iteration of Aquaman, this iteration of Mansa, this iteration of Ocean Master. We may not see, we may see Momoa pop up in James Gunn's DC, rumor, Lobo.
Yeah.
But till then, this is the last we're going to see of it. So this is the end of the DCEU after this movie. With the strikes being over, a little more promotion has ramped up. Marketing has gone up a little bit. So that's pretty cool to see. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I love the first one.
I will say the trailers look really good.
Yeah, it looks fun. It just looks fun, and that's all I want.
Yeah, it does. But I guess the fact that it's going nowhere takes up some positivity away from me, like some hype from me. And I just don't think this one is going to be as good as the second one. I don't know why. I just don't. Based off the trailers, it looks like it would be. But yeah, I don't know.
Going back to our
Manta looks so good, though.
Oh, my gosh, dude. Once again, I think we've discussed this before on the pod, or maybe it was just amongst us. His suit shouldn't work live action. But they said, screw it, we're going to do it. Yeah. And it looks beautiful. It looks amazing. I thought the first suit in Aquaman 1 looked great. And I thought, okay, great. Cool. They're not going to do the big old silver dome and everything like that. It would have looked great, too. And they brought it for part 2, and it looks so good.
It looks amazing.
Yeah, like I said, I'm excited, I'm probably like at a 7. Maybe once we get like the week of, I'll be right there.
Right. So we're gonna give our top 5 DCEU movies. I would like to rank them all, but there's like 14 of them.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do our top 5. So you want to do how we usually do it? So we'll go 5 to 1. And then you give your 5, I'll give my 5, and then we'll go like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to go first, or you want me to?
You go for it.
My number 5. So keep in mind, it's been a while since these movies have come out. So I just kind of wrote this list off the top of my head. Number 5 for me is James Gunn's Suicide Squad. I don't remember if it's the Suicide Squad or if it's Squad. Okay, so the Suicide Squad is my number 5.
Nice. My number 5, Wonder Woman, the first Wonder Woman.
Okay. But so I guess we could talk about them a little bit. So from what I remember of the Suicide Squad, it was good. I liked it. I thought it was a nice iteration that James Gunn did. Did I like it a ton more than the other Suicide Squad that we got? Or was it just Suicide Squad? I enjoy Suicide Squad.
So do I.
Like, yeah, I get it. The villain is bad. Like, it's awful.
Enchantress?
Yes. But the movie overall, bro, I had a lot of fun with it. And I think I liked the little part that we got of Jared Leto. I say it all the time. I wish we would have got more of him, whether in that project or in another project. But yeah, I that's one of those movies, bro, where I don't really mind. Like, I know it's not. I know technically, I guess it's
sacrilegious
not,
to say.
Yeah, it's
like
not
it.
a good movie. I know, but like I enjoyed it.
The movie definitely has problems. I didn't care. It was our first time seeing Harley Quinn on the big screen like this. When our introduction to this DCEU Joker, the Suicide Squad. I mean, no one knew who they were, and they were brought to the big screen, so it was good.
I felt like Will Smith did a good job.
Will Smith as Deadshot was awesome. I really loved him. Perfect casting. Viola Davis as Amanda Waller. Great casting. So much they brought her for the Suicide Squad, James Gunn's Suicide Squad. And apparently she's going to continue to be Amanda Waller coming into James Gunn's
She's perfect.
She's perfect for it. It gave us the Suicide Squad switching over to the James Gunn's. Gave us Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Great.
No, so yeah, so the Suicide Squad, I enjoyed a lot also. John Cena was great in it, which for us is very cool because we grew up with John Cena.
Yeah.
So to see him on the big screen playing a DC character, like that's something if you would have told me when I was a kid, I probably wouldn't have ever believed you. He killed it. Idris Elba was amazing in the movie too. Yeah, he was so good.
Their back and forth was so good.
Yeah, he was so good. The twist at the end where John Cena, I guess technically is Peacemaker's kind of bad. I guess he's not a bad guy, but yes, he was doing the mission right.
Yeah.
That was cool. Harley, I mean,
what can you say about Margot Robbie?
What can you say about Margot Robbie? I mean, she did a good job.
She's
also.
Great.
So the movie itself was really good. I'm not saying Suicide Squad is better than the Suicide Squad, but I really enjoyed Suicide Squad. So I know a lot of people hate it.
No, when it comes to that first one, you'll never get an argument out of me. I've watched that movie 4 times in theaters. I loved it.
I saw it, I think, twice in theaters. But yeah, so James Gunn's The Suicide Squad is my number 5.
Nice. For Wonder Woman by Patty Jenkins, our first Wonder Woman movie. We got introduced to her in BVS. Her entrance in BVS was so epic. I mean, everyone talked about that from that movie. So yes, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. It was good. Yeah. It was very good. Eris as the villain. Great villain for the first movie. The whole period piece with it. What war was it in? Was it World War I?
I think so.
I could be,
or maybe 2. I
could be 100% wrong.
It's one of those.
One of the wars. It was just a good spot for her as a period piece.
Chris Pine, right?
Chris Pine was in it. Yeah, as Steve Trevor.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really fun movie. I liked it a lot. Now, am I going to say that it's the best thing DC's done? No. I mean, I guess it's in my top 5, but yeah, I mean, still, I liked it.
Yeah. My number bouncing off that, my number 4 is Wonder Woman.
Perfect.
I really enjoyed Wonder Woman also. I thought they did a good job in that movie of really showing how the reason why she's in. It's the big 3. It's the Trinity. Yeah, like they did a good job of that. Obviously, we know based off animations and comics, like she's a badass. But in the movie and Wonder Woman 1, I thought Gal Gadot killed it. They wrote her well. I don't know what they were doing in Wonder Woman 2.
I have no idea.
I
big step
really
down.
did not enjoy that movie.
No.
But Wonder Woman 1, yeah, I loved it, bro. Chris Pine, I thought was good. I thought the villain was cool. So I don't know if you remember in Wonder Woman 1, isn't she flying, or is she going off the lightning?
She never.
Because in Wonder Woman 2, she doesn't fly. Right? Or am I?
She rides the lightning in Wonder Woman 2.
But in 1, she's flying when she's fighting the villain. Is Ares, right?
Is it flying, or does she just?
I want to say she's flying, bro. I want to say she's flying, but I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've seen Wonder Woman.
Same.
But that was one of the things that I didn't understand because in 2 she's not. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she isn't flying. But yeah, I loved it, bro. I thought the action was good.
Maybe she's not flying because in 2 they give her the invisible jet.
Maybe I have no idea. Because in some iterations of her, she does fly.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. There is iterations where she does fly.
Right. I kind of like her when she flies, obviously. But speaking of too, I read Vincent let me borrow some comics. The Justice League one. Wonder Woman in that one is a badass.
Yeah.
And I already read the one where she dates Superman and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't we kind of like to see that like in live action?
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be a different take.
It'd definitely be a different take, and the whole thing is just, bro. 2 of the most powerful beings right now. Like, who else can match them? Who else can,
I feel bad for Steve Trevor in those. Do you remember? Like, he's all obsessed about Wonder Woman, but she does not care about him at all.
She's impressed by Wonder Woman, dude.
Yeah.
Or not by Superman. She's never seen anyone like him.
You want to go with your number 4?
My number 4, Aquaman.
Okay.
DC's first $1 billion movie. Jason Momoa, I just feel like universally he's just loved.
Yeah.
He's just a fun guy. Everyone not necessarily first got introduced him from Game of Thrones, but that's technically his bread and butter. That's where he got known from.
I knew him first from The Game. You know the show The Game?
Oh, he was in
football
that
show. Yeah.
I didn't know.
He dated Kelly for a little bit. I don't know if you know Kelly. She's a blonde girl in there. And
Kelly?
No. She does kind of look like Kelly though. I don't know the actress's name, but she's blonde. And Jason Momoa is dating her. And then her husband is named Jason, but they're like split up. They're divorced or whatever. And so Jason Momoa's character in that is bad, like he's like abusive or whatever. So Jason in the show has to come and beat him up and kick him out. But that's where I first knew Jason Momoa.
Yeah, as I was saying earlier for Aquaman, it was such a good movie. I enjoyed it so much. Stuff that shouldn't work on live action worked.
Mm-hmm.
Manta shouldn't work. I mean, I guess it can. You can do different iterations of him, but just his suit shouldn't work. It worked. Ocean Master. Straight from the comics.
Yeah.
He was so good. It was basically Throne of Atlantis in this movie. And then Aquaman's suit, beautiful. Still has to be one of the best comic book movie suits we've seen on the big screen. James Wan did a fantastic job. I know the part that everyone really got a kick out of was the trench scene. From there,
that was awesome.
From there, people wanted more, and they were going to.
We were going to get our trench, right? We were going to get like a trench movie.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, stupid idea.
Yeah.
I'm so glad they didn't go that route. But overall, man, Aquaman was so good. I really enjoyed it.
That was your number 3?
That was number 3. Go for number
My
3.
number 3 is Zack Snyder's Justice League cut. I know that's probably higher for you because you really I enjoyed it. I'm not gonna say I didn't. But I never was on the train of like release Zack Snyder's. Like it was like we got it or we didn't. Like I didn't care, right? And so I sucks because we never got it originally. I would have loved to get that over Joss Whedon's. It's Joss Whedon, right?
Joss.
His version of the Justice League because it sucked.
Yeah.
It wasn't good. But Zack Snyder's definitely was better. I enjoyed it. It was a long
4 hours.
Yeah, and for me, I mean, dude, it's just hard to keep my attention for 4 hours. So there were some times throughout the movie where like I did get a little bored. But I enjoyed it. The Flash that we got in that, I don't know what happened
for his movie.
Yes, like I don't understand why we didn't keep the same version of the Flash. I feel like he got so much praise whenever Zack Snyder's Justice League came out, his cut, and it's like for the movie they just forgot about it completely. Like I don't know. I feel like it was different. Superman in that, bad fucking ass, bro.
Beautiful.
I love it. The way he shows up and just effortlessly just messes up Steppenwolf.
He turns the whole fight around.
The whole league is struggling. Superman just shows up like a fly flicks Steppenwolf like nothing. So
pretty sure he backhands him at one point.
Well, yeah, flying. Like just effortlessly. So, but yeah, I really enjoyed the movie. So that is my number 3.
My number 3, BVS, still holds the record for the movie I've watched the most in theaters, 5 times. I saw it with the press. They had a week early access, and I got to see it with them in Dallas. That was pretty cool, and I love that movie. Completely divisive amongst critics. I'm not even to say divisive. I lie. Critics don't like this movie at all.
I mean, I personally think it's boring. Like, I don't have it in my top 5.
No, to me, I listened to John Campea.
Right.
He has a co-host on there, Robert Meyer Burnett. He's made a point in a couple months ago that I'm not gonna lie, I never really thought about, and he's right. He's definitely right. He said for BVS, it's a bummer of a movie.
Yeah.
He said it's a bummer of a movie. Not because of the tone wise. He's like, but you start off with the destruction of Metropolis, which is basically the end of Man of Steel.
Mm-hmm.
You start off with the destruction of Metropolis, and you end with the death of Superman. He said, where's the joy in any of this?
Yeah.
And when just him saying that, it's not like I was blind and thought Superman dies in the end. No, like he's right. It was a bummer of a movie. For me though, I still freaking love the movie. The movie truly depicts, once again, if Superman was real, this is how someone that is like a Batman, a vigilante, would deal with him.
Yeah.
The whole Lex situation, getting between them, manipulating them, trying to fight each other. Great. We got Ben Affleck, which is the definitive Batman for me. Introduced in this movie. Beautiful. He was just the Dark Knight Returns in it. I absolutely love this movie. Like I said earlier, we got our Wonder Woman introduction. Doomsday. happy they had him.
Yeah, but
they didn't need him at all.
They didn't need him, but I just feel like, and I feel like if we were gonna have him, I just would have maybe like a whole movie of him, or I don't know. I feel like we should.
It was too soon.
Yeah,
it was way too soon. But in the end, it's okay. Who does Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman fight? It made sense, I guess. Yeah. But at the same time, Zach did say that this wasn't the final version of Doomsday. So I'm guarantee if we continued on with his whole plan, we would have had a bigger version of Doomsday. Now, would he kill Superman twice? Who knows? But that's the one we got.
Like I don't know, bro. I mean, I think he probably would have. I mean, what was the movie that we saw where Doomsday just pretty much solos the whole Justice League?
Death of Superman.
Was it Death of Superman?
It was the animated Death of Superman. Yeah.
Oh, so I wanted to ask. So I want to ask if for the people that do watch us, please comment. Does that Doomsday solo Marvel's Avengers?
Yes,
I think so too. But yes. I want to hear people's opinions on it. That Doomsday from Death of Superman, I think 100% solos Marvel's Avengers because he soloed pretty much the whole Justice League in that movie.
Yeah,
and he kills Superman that ends up dying.
Now, let me just make this clear. That doesn't mean Doomsday's better than Superman.
No, I'm not. But like Superman had to do, bro. He just had to go all out in the movie. That's one of my favorite iterations of it.
Yeah, I remember whenever you first watched that. I remember you texting me about it. You're like, dude, I guarantee he takes out this person, this person, this person. I was like, yeah, that Doomsday was great.
I genuinely want to hear people's opinions. Does that Doomsday solo Marvel's Avengers? Because I guess I should specify which type. Should we say the first Avengers, or should we say like later include Wanda? I think if you include Wanda, it does become a different fight, of course. So I guess I should say the Avengers from Avengers 1. Does that Doomsday solo them? Because I 100% think he does. I 100% think he even takes out the Hulk. Like, so I could be wrong. I'm not a big comic guy, but I want to hear everyone's opinions genuinely. So does that Doomsday take out the Avengers?
Once again, I agree with you. I think so. Yes, that's why I was so quick to pull the trigger. Yes, he does.
Keep going. Are you still talking about the
movie? BVS, like I said, it's my number 3. I love that movie so much. It was Zack Snyder's second movie, right after Man of Steel, and we'll get into it later as far as if we agree that it should have came out after Man of Steel or not. But yeah, that was my number 3.
No, I did like the movie. I don't have it in my top 5, but I did like it. It's just it was a bummer, and I just feel like it could have been so much more. And I feel like it would have been so much more if you save it for later. I don't think it should have been the second movie. We'll go into that, but just quick thoughts of it. It's been a while since I've seen it. I did enjoy it, but it was a letdown as far as what I expected. But that Batman one is my favorite also. I know people got butthurt when we posted that clip of Ben Affleck being the best Batman. People were arguing with us in the comments on TikTok about Christian Bale. That Ben Affleck fucks Christian Bale up easily.
Fucks Christian Bale up. Hey, that Bane that fucked Christian Bale up, Ben Affleck.
Oh, 100%. I agree. He beats Tom Hardy's Bane.
Like I said,
easily.
definitively, this is the Batman.
I agree.
And what makes it so great is Zach is a genuine Batman fan, and he loves The Dark Knight Returns, so he just brought that brute of a Batman on the big screen, and it was the best.
It just reminds me of the Dark Knight Batman.
Yeah.
Like Era said in that one video, like he's just the Dark Knight Batman, like that we got in the animated, and I'm sure in some comics. Yeah, like he's just that Batman.
Yeah, beautiful.
Is it my turn?
Number 2.
My number 2 is Aquaman.
Nice.
I really loved Aquaman. And it was a nice change of pace because that was at the time where we didn't know what everyone was hating on DC for being darker, and you could tell they totally changed how would you say it? The tone, like it was just a nice change. And I wouldn't say it fits like Marvel's stuff, but it was just closer in that direction almost. It was beautiful cinematically the way they did Atlantis. Aquaman suit, beautiful. Jason Momoa kills it. Amber Heard she's kind of just there, but I feel like she would have been a bigger player later. But obviously the stuff that happened with her, like and then Ocean Master, yeah. I mean, bro, for me he kind of stole the movie. Like he was really good in the movie.
Patrick Wilson is a great actor.
He was really good in the movie.
That's James Wan's boy.
Yeah, I know he's in all the Conjuring movies and stuff. Doesn't James Wan do the Conjuring movies? Yeah. And I'm excited to see how they play in the second part. Like it's kind of like it almost looks like they're gonna team up against
like a buddy cop type
Black Manta. So yeah, man, I really loved Aquaman. I have it as my number 2. I was thinking about it. Do I like it more? then Justice League cut, Wonder Woman. But yeah, I do. I saw that movie I think like 3 times in theaters.
Yeah, I think I saw it 3 times too.
So
it was so good. My number 2, and this is always a toss up for me. I guarantee me and you have the same number 1. I will put money on that one. But it's Zack Snyder's Justice League. Just the conclusion of his trilogy.
Right.
The movie that never should have been made. The movie that we never thought was going to be made. And I've said this before on one of the episodes. Look, bro, like I said, I wasn't one of them cult followers or anything like that. I threw up a tweet every once in a while.
Yeah.
You know, some new info came out. Hey, release the Snyder Cut. And it was just because Zach was teasing it so much.
Yeah.
He knew everyone wanted it. And I guarantee he had zero doubt. Or no, I guarantee he had, zero intention to ever release the film. So he'd throw out concept art, what it would have been, who would have been who, and him releasing that Snyder Cut army just grew and grew and grew. And I remember watching the, the Man of Steel watch party or whatever, and he was on watching the movie along with his fans, and you had to, you start when he started, he gave commentary and everything like that. It was so cool. And at the very end, he had Henry Cavill show up, do a Q&A, and at the very end, he's like, hey, Zach, or Henry, you got a question or something or no, a fan asked straight up, are we going to get the Snyder Cut? Boom. He showed, I have a little image, and it was the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
Internet broke, dude.
Yeah, I remember.
Internet broke. All that to say, this movie will hold a special place in my heart because it was a movie we were never supposed to get. Just the whole backstory behind it. I mean, I hate that he had to step away from the Justice League movie with the tragedy of his daughter. But with that, we got such a beautiful movie. Yeah. And like I said, do you want to go ahead and do your number 1?
So I mean, I'm pretty much sure our number 1 is the same. So, number 1, Man of Steel.
Man of Steel.
I don't care what people say. I love that movie. Man of Steel is my favorite DCEU movie. It's my favorite Superman movie. I love it, bro. I remember I went a few years without seeing it, and I watched, and it still holds up. What year did it come out? 2013.
Yes,
bro. It was.
I was gonna say it's either 12 or 13.
It was beautiful. I love Superman's suit in it. I love the scenes where he's fighting the other Kryptonians. Zod, bro. I know I know we still have to do an episode of best villains, but Zod, I think, bro, is the best villain that we got in the DCU for sure. And I think he even makes a run at
best villain period.
Best villain period that we've seen cinematically.
I will tell you this: if right now, just whenever we make that list, he will be in my top 3.
Like the only one that off the top of my head I can think of that competes with him is obviously Thanos.
That's it.
But Zod in Man of Steel is just. He's just awesome. He's awesome. And he's scary. And the fight with him and Superman at the end, when Superman snaps his neck, I know some people are torn about that. I feel like he had to. He had to kill Zod. He had to. Zod was not going to stop. And all the damage that they did create in Man of Steel, it would have been 10 times worse if he didn't snap his neck. So I don't know. I know it's some people don't see Superman as that way, but like I personally, I look at it with more, I guess, reasoning a little bit. Like, I think he had to. Zod was going to fuck shit up even more, bro. So, yeah, I love Man of Steel. I wanted to say, too, I don't know why it reminded me of Batman vs. Superman. The whole Martha stuff in Batman vs. Superman was dumb. That was a big point that I didn't like, too. But going back to Man of Steel, I just wanted to say it because I brought up. Yeah, bro, I loved it. I don't know what else I can say. I thought Henry killed it. I know it's a different kind of Superman, I guess, but like you said earlier, I feel like if we got Superman in our world, like that's kind of how it would be almost. But yeah, you want to go ahead?
Before I get into the Man of Steel, I'm gonna go off what you just said.
Oh, the Martha thing.
Watching it for the first time, I didn't get that effect. You know what I did get the effect of? And I felt so stupid being a DC fan all these years leading up until BVS. Holy crap, bro. Bruce's mom's name is Martha and Clark's name is Martha. Like, what? They have the same name? It didn't affect me as, oh, that's why you stopped fighting because we have the same. No, that had nothing to do with it. That's why they do the whole flashback in Bruce's eyes of Thomas Wayne in the alley. The last thing before he gets killed is Martha.
Yeah.
It just affects him differently. We'll get into that some other time. But Man of Steel truly was a beautiful movie for DC. If you're going to start off the DCEU movie, franchise, it was the perfect movie to do.
I agree.
I have no issues with that movie at all.
Me either.
Nothing about that movie was wrong to me. Everything felt right. Suit was beautiful. Henry Cavill, perfect Superman. Perfect Superman.
Yeah.
So when Christopher Reeves was in his movies, I think the first movie slogan was "You're going to believe a man can fly." I've watched those movies. I don't. It could just once again, like we say with the Hulk Hogan stuff, maybe because we're just young, dumb kids.
Yeah, maybe.
But it didn't hit for me. Maybe that's the reason. And I watched that movie before we ever got Man of Steel.
Yeah.
I thought Brandon did a better job as Superman. Man of Steel made me believe a man can fly. I'll say that. I've talked about that before. A Man of Steel really made me believe a man can fly. I remember watching that at the Cinemark in Rockwall, walking out amazed at what I just saw. I've never seen a movie like that. It's crazy to say that. We've had all these other movies. We've had the Avengers movie. I've never been affected by a movie until Man of Steel. Once again, General Zod, top villain of all time. Top villain of all time. This neck breaking, I agree. It had to happen. Mm-hmm. General Zod straight up told him, I will not stop. Either, you die or I die. Like, this is what it's going to be. So Superman knew what he had to do. General Zod was a perfect villain. My favorite villains are the ones that have purpose.
Yeah. And
he straight up told him, my sole purpose of being born and created was to protect my people. And now I have no people. So who does he blame? Superman.
Yeah.
So his sole mission at that point was to kill Superman and destroy everything he loves. Great movie.
Yeah. Was it Russell Crowe as his dad? Not Russell Crowe. What's his name?
Yeah.
It is Russell Crowe? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I thought he was good.
As Jor-El.
And then
Amy Adams as Lois Lane.
Yeah,
I thought she was
did a
good.
Good job too. And we also got John Dutton. What's his name?
Actor. Kevin Costner. Pa Kent.
Yeah,
he was good.
He was good too.
I want to ask you about this one.
His death.
How do you feel about the death? Because honestly, it made sense to me. It made sense. The whole, him stopping him, saying, "No, you're not supposed to expose yourself." He's kept on, preaching this to Clark growing up. You are not supposed to expose yourself. What you can do, you can never be found. So him getting caught in a tornado, and yes, everyone knows, in the comics, Paul Kent dies. But him stopping Clark from saving him in front of a whole bunch of people during a tornado, a lot of people don't like that.
So I'm kind of torn about it because, yes, I get it. Like, I get why he didn't do it. Like, he's not supposed to expose himself to everyone. I understand. He ends up doing it anyways. So I guess, yeah, they don't know it's Clark Kent. They don't know he's Superman, right? But I don't know. Like, he's honestly so fast. He probably could have just done it before anyone even noticed. Like, maybe that's maybe that's not being realistic. And I feel like the Superman movie was very realistic. So maybe that's why they did it. But I feel like, yeah, I mean, he's so fast. He could have literally just went and grabbed him. I don't know. Like, I don't think anyone really. I'm torn about it because I see where people are coming from. Because, yeah, Superman easily could have just gone to save him and he would have been alive still.
I wonder if it goes into the whole you can't save everyone. That whole
maybe
aspect that they talk about for Superman every once in a while is like you just can't save everyone.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm torn about it because like you, I agree also. Like, he doesn't want it. It was a more realistic take almost. Like, he didn't want him introduce everybody. He didn't want everyone to know. But then I look at it, it's like he was gonna show up anyways, and everyone was gonna know Superman was Superman. So it's like, I don't know. Like, maybe at that time though he wasn't carrying a suit right underneath. He was still
young Clark.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like he almost could have. Yeah, he could have probably just gone and grabbed him really fast, bro, before anyone even noticed. And everyone at that time too was like,
"Yeah, you're right."
So like, I don't know. I feel like he could have grabbed him. I guess that is kind of a gripe of mine, but I also didn't mind it either, like you said, because yeah, it's a more realistic take on it. But it's a perfect movie to me nonetheless. It's the best DCEU movie that they made. So I want to go into it because we still have some time.
Well, I was gonna say.
Go ahead.
Before we get to the end, do you want to talk about the movie we watched?
Which one?
Godzilla.
Oh, yes. Oh, bro, how did I forget about it?
I'm not going to lie. You went straight to DC, and I thought, are we not going to talk about it?
I completely forgot. Godzilla Minus One. Let's move on. Yeah. We're moving on to Godzilla Minus One.
Before we continue the DCEU talk, yes, we both saw Godzilla Minus One this past weekend.
It was amazing.
I agree with everyone. It was so good.
It held up to the hype. I'm sorry to switch. I completely forgot about it. I'm sorry to go off DC talk and then go straight to Godzilla, but bro, it was so good. So for me, I'm not a big Godzilla person. I've never watched the movies as a kid. like I said last episode, the only movie I saw was Godzilla vs. Kong, and I saw the Godzilla movie before Godzilla vs. King of Monsters. So I know nothing about Godzilla. I don't know any of the people that he fights, but Godzilla Minus One, it was amazing. And I liked how we saw him be, like, terrorizing people. Like, the movies that I've seen, he's good. Like, he doesn't, I don't know if he's always like that, or I have no idea. But it was amazing, bro. I know that I harped him, like, I didn't want to see it because it was Japanese. I didn't mind that at all. I followed the movie.
Dubbed.
I followed the movie perfectly. Subtitles weren't a problem. Even without the subtitles, you still know what's going on. Like, it's not hard to tell. Godzilla's messing shit up, and everyone's reeling from it, right? Mm-hmm. The main character, I thought they wrote him so perfect. I don't want to say his name because I don't want to mispronounce it. Yeah, and the names were hard to remember. But the main character, what a story.
Yeah. Do we talk about it? Like, do we spoil it or what?
Yeah, it's been out for what? It's been out for a few weeks now, right?
Yeah, but it's also.
And by the time this episode comes out,
it's already out theaters right now.
Oh, then yeah, we can spoil it. So spoilers. I'm sorry, I don't know if I even spoiled anything. Did I?
No.
Spoilers for Godzilla Minus One. So if you don't want to hear it, did Marco see it?
No.
Okay, so Marco, don't listen to this one. Yeah, bro, it was amazing. They wrote the main character so well. To see him, he lost so much from Godzilla. He lost so much and for him to at the end, the whole shit, bro. When his rocket went into Godzilla's mouth, I thought yes, like Teresa Black, because I was just, yes, and no one was hyped in my theater. I wish they would have been, because my theater was full. But yes, bro, I was hyped. Like,
we had a talkative theater, which is pretty cool.
I was so happy. The way it made me feel, like it made me actually feel something for the main character. Like it was amazing. I loved it.
$15 million. They apparently made this movie.
Apparently, it was even less.
And the director came out and said, "I wish we had $15 million." I don't know what they did right that our American stuff can't do right.
Yeah.
Like, it was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, obviously, CGI isn't on par to what we have sometimes.
I liked it though,
but it was still good. It was still so good. You know what's so cool? Here in the direct, I watched behind the scenes thing for it. The director talked about, so I have an idea for certain elements and certain scenes. I couldn't, obviously my visual effects people can't read my mind because stuff changes so fast. He goes, so I just got on the computer and did it myself. So maybe just with that, it was a little more love into it. And I guarantee everyone in the cast and crew just had to put their love into this movie. Yeah. It was such a great movie. The human elements for it, I could care less about any human elements in any monster movie. If I'm going to go see a Godzilla movie, I'm watching Godzilla. Yeah. If I'm going to go see a Kong, I'm going to go watch Kong. I don't care about Millie Bobby Brown in the American ones we have. I don't. Am I happy she's in it? Yeah, cool, whatever, I guess. 11's in there. But this one, I cared about all the humans.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the ending, that when I feel something for this character, like, I felt happy, bro. And then at the end, when is it Numiko or Kumiko or I don't want to say it wrong. The main leads, it's not his wife, but she lives with him.
It's technically his partner.
When she's alive, bro. Oh my god.
So you get the big scene. Godzilla's first atomic breath scene. First off, beautiful.
Yeah, it was
beautiful. And the pure destruction after what happens, it's not just what he's focusing on that he destroys. No, it's the ripple effect it caused around the city. Yeah. Devastating.
She flies away because the air,
and
like,
she
the pressure,
saves her partner or whatever. I can't remember his name. I feel bad for not remembering. She pushes him out of the way into an alley, and she gets blown away by the debris and everything like that. And you think she dies, but little do we know, at the very end of the movie, she survives. Big emotional scene, great. Yeah. I think and I've watched a lot of Godzilla movies. Me and my brother Nicholas, we grew up watching a lot of Kong, got a lot of Godzilla. Did we watch every single thing that came out? No. Basically, like Mecha Godzilla, King Ghidorah, King Caesar. Well, that was a part of Mecha Godzilla. Nonetheless, I don't remember many human elements in that one that hit. This one hits so well. I think what's cool about this one is you see the pure devastation that's caused because of Godzilla. I like in our first introduction of Godzilla on that little island. He's small, but he's still so big and powerful. But once they drop that big atomic bomb and everything, you see that it affects him. Mm-hmm. He gets the radiation and everything like that from it, and he grows. Yeah, huge. The design of Godzilla, awesome design.
I didn't mind how it was like the old fashioned Godzilla, the way he moved, like he moved all slow and stuff. Like it just fit the time. The time period is 1945. It's after World War II. I like that the whole element, bro, and him on the island too. I like right away we get him. What, it's like 5 minutes, and right away we get him. It may not be the final version that we get at the end, but right away, bro, we get to see Godzilla mess some shit up, kill people. And then our main character still getting. I know you said it earlier, or you said it to me when you texted me. The daughter, dude. And it's not his daughter, but the little girl, bro.
So basically, his partner, like I said,
just finds this girl.
So after after World War II, Japan is basically destroyed.
Yeah,
everyone's disappeared because of the effects of it. The main characters, I guess, at the end of it, his wife, his partner, finds this little girl, and she is now the caretaker. And when I say little girl, I mean a baby.
She's a baby, yeah.
This isn't even her kid, but she's basically her mother now. She lives with our main character. Gosh, I really wish we knew their names. It makes it so much easier than just saying this over and over. And by the end, a couple years pass, the main character basically just becomes the father, even though he doesn't want to admit it. But he is the father after a while, the adopted father, and just the whole him going to war again against Godzilla, and he's leaving the daughter. It hit. We both have daughters. They're both 1 year old.
Not only that, they look about the same size. I know that she's pretty. I think she's older in the movies, but she's only like 2. I think in the movie. She looks about 2,
but just how small she is, it just hit a little different.
Yeah,
so all that just to be said, Godzilla Minus One was so good.
Yeah. At the end, bro, or during the movie, going back to the daughter stuff, when she called him dad, and then he said, and so that one hurt me.
He said, "Don't call me that." Yeah, I told you, don't call me that.
And the way she looked after, I thought, bro, why are you being that way? I was like, why are you being that way? And then, whenever you could clearly see, like, the tide is turning, like he's starting to feel something for her. And whenever she is I guess he just left her in the house, right? And so she goes over to the neighbors. And the neighbor's,
which I'm not gonna lie, even that part, I was like, "You're just gonna leave this baby inside a house by yourself?"
The neighbor was surprised, and she was like, "Oh, what are you doing out here, bro?" I felt so bad, bro, because I thought that good little girl, her only chance he's finna die, and whenever they come back as a family at the end, bro, it just pulled the heartstrings. Like it was so good, and like you said earlier, it just made me feel. The 2 movies that I've seen, I didn't care anything about the main characters. Like I said, Kong vs. Godzilla and Godzilla King of Monsters. King of Monsters?
King of Monsters.
I didn't feel anything. Like you said, Millie Bobby Brown, I didn't care. I didn't care about the human characters at all. And this one, we just get to see Godzilla mess shit up, and you got to see a whole. It's all of Japan, right? Or where the little part of Japan that they're at. They all have to come together and get these people that aren't even in the military anymore, and they all have to come up with a plan on how to kill Godzilla because he's gonna keep coming back and messing their shit up. And bro, it was just amazing. Was
so intense.
Whenever he brought back the pilot mechanic, they made a point earlier in the movie to talk about how they had the kamikaze jets, the kamikaze planes, because they didn't have eject buttons.
Yeah.
And whenever they mentioned that, and then they brought the mechanic back, he was looking. I whispered to Teresa, I said, "Baby, he's gonna put an eject button."
Emily called it too.
He's gonna put an eject button. And then, but then they don't show anything after.
But you know what? They allude to it because he goes.
He tells me you have to pull this.
This is the safety for the bomb or whatever, because he knows he's going to go do a kamikaze on Godzilla. Mm-hmm. He's like, this is the thing for the bomb. He goes, and I got to show you one more thing. And then it cuts to the next scene. And Emily looks at me and she goes, he put an eject button in there. And I was like,
So then at the end, they don't mention it, right? But then after as soon as he puts a jet, you just don't see him fly out or anything until the end. They were like, oh, look. And you see him. And I thought, yes, like, bro, I was just hype. No, I loved it, bro. I held up to the hype 100%. I love it. I don't know why Americans make it so hard. That's literally all we need. We just need a movie like that, bro. We don't need anything more. Like all these high budget movies and stuff. Like I don't think it matters if sometimes you stay low budget and just make it good. Like I don't know.
You want to hear something crazy?
What?
2 things before which I think we should get back to the DCEU stuff. 1. This movie cost $15 million, possibly $15 million to make. I found out that 1 episode of She-Hulk cost $25 million.
That's ridiculous.
1 episode. You're telling me they made a 2-hour and 5-minute movie for possibly less than $15 million? and it cost $25 million to make one episode of She-Hulk. Granted, we love She-Hulk, but still, that should not be the case. No. I don't understand why that happened.
I think it's just because, bro, everything's about CGI now, and like we don't need like you said earlier, it wasn't that good a CGI in the movie, but I didn't care. Like
it wasn't that good, but it wasn't bad.
That's what I'm saying.
It looked good.
I don't need much, so it's like I didn't care that it wasn't that good. So I think studios need to stop focusing on these high ass budgets and bro, it's like go back to just some OG shit. Like I even though I've never seen any of the Godzilla movies, the old ones, I've seen clips and I know what they look like. It reminded me of that. Like and like I said, I've never seen it, but it reminded me of that. The way Godzilla moved, like and bro, the Godzilla song at during the movie when you got
I was so happy when they had the theme.
Bro,
in there.
like
I was like, oh, cool, we get the original theme.
Yeah, like me being not a Godzilla person, I just can't imagine how someone who loves Godzilla felt because. If I feel this way, I can only imagine someone who loves Godzilla.
Bro. I can't wait for Marco to watch this movie. I cannot wait for him to see because he loves Godzilla.
I can only imagine how someone who loves Godzilla must have felt during that movie because it was amazing. I loved it. I'd give it a 10.
Yeah.
It's 10 out of 10
So
for me.
I remember we talked about, is this the best movie we've seen all year? Or at least a contender? There. I was off the bat going to be like, yep, movie of the year for me. Nah, still Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, that's so I told you, I told you it's definitely in contention.
You said a contender, but
you have to discuss it. You have to debate it. I wouldn't say it's just run out of the park. Across the Spider-Verse.
Obviously, two different movies, but
right.
God, man,
Across
the Spider-Verse.
But it's got to be up there for best movie of the year, 100%.
Last thing before we move on, do we still have time for it?
I mean, yeah, we can go a little over. We're at an hour now.
Oh shit.
I mean, we could just go a little. We can give just like some quick takes on. But go ahead.
Godzilla Minus One versus the American Godzilla. Who wins? But I think the American one is bigger.
I was gonna say I still would probably give it to the American one.
Really?
But also we didn't really get to see this Godzilla fight any other monsters.
Else.
Like he's just taking out humans, which that's easy to do. I mean, we don't. What can we do?
Point.
What can we do to Godzilla? You know, like it.
What do you mean, bro? We had a whole movie about it.
But, like,
kamikaze.
But like they had to band together. He was killing everybody. So obviously, maybe now that was in 1945. So today would be different. But I think it's hard to compare because that Godzilla doesn't fight anybody. So I would still give it to the American one.
Okay.
Okay. So sorry to switch.
Yeah, going back to the original.
I can't believe I forgot. You should have stopped me, bro. I can't believe I forgot.
You just kind of were so clean and like,
I just forgot about it.
So well with this, I was like,
I don't have it written down on here, so that's why it's like I forgot.
We're going to go back to DCEU. Sorry, we're just coming back to it.
Just give us some quick points as to what you think what went wrong.
What went wrong with the DCEU?
We can discuss it more in depth like in another episode, but just kind of
biggest points, and I know you're going to agree with this. They try to catch MCU. They try to catch Marvel.
That was my point.
They try to catch Marvel. The critics didn't really respond well to the movies. I agree and disagree that they should have followed Marvel's formula. The leadership, for years I remember watching once again Campia talking about new head of Warner Brothers, new head of DC, new head of Warner Brothers, new head of DC. With that many cooks in the kitchen, nothing's going to get done. So many new plans were going to come into fruition for it. So yes, just too much was going on. The movies were a little bit darker than Marvel. Audience didn't really care for that too much.
But what's weird is now they do. Now everybody wants like a more mature, more darker tone, and that's what pisses me off is because everyone at first hated DC for that.
It was hard being a DC fan talking about.
We
this
were
stuff
having to argue with people all the time about it. Because we would say that's how it would be in real life if there was these heroes, right? That was our biggest defense was DC's making it more realistic.
Man of Steel is truly what the world would react to.
And now everyone doesn't like the whole funny, the whole not realistic type deal.
Love and Thunder gave us the corniest and funniest stuff we've had, and guess what? That thing sucked.
Everyone else wants a more like something that hits home more that you can relate to. Yeah. And I feel like DC was kind of giving that beforehand and everyone hated it at the time. And now I feel like people are cool with it. I don't know.
Another thing, WB is very reactionary.
Yeah.
We discussed it earlier when we were talking about Aquaman.
The trench.
Yeah, the trench. People talked about the trench all over social media, how cool that scene was. Oh, WB. James Wan, you want to do a whole movie about the trench? Yeah. That is the stupidest idea ever. This, even with me being so hyped for Aquaman, I thought that is the dumbest thing ever. You're going to waste all this money just for the trench? Get the hell out of here.
Yeah. They're even making a Penguin show. That's reactionary.
Yeah, very reactionary. Just because Penguin hits so well. I'm apparently for that's just.
I mean, I'm gonna watch it, but still, I mean, it's definitely reactionary. Peacemaker too.
Yeah. I mean, granted, those.
I mean, yeah, it's awesome.
Hit.
It's awesome, but I'm just saying it is reactionary.
Yeah.
Like no one cared about a Peacemaker show, but Warner Brothers and it worked. But I'm just saying that is reactionary.
The biggest thing to, like I said, I'm sure if we're going to go in detail later, or we can do it now, but I just still think if Man of Steel and BVS hit, we wouldn't be having these conversations as far as what went wrong.
Yeah, so I agree with that. But also, what if Zack Snyder never had his tragedy happen? Do you think the trajectory of the DCU would have been different? Like if he would have actually did the Justice League, do you think it would have been different?
I honestly don't know.
I
just
think
because we would have never got that 4-hour version.
So I think it would have been a little different because I think the Justice League wouldn't have been as bad as it was. But I think the trajectory still was. It was just gonna go down no matter what.
Yeah, when it comes to the DCU, this is like
they just rushed, bro.
They definitely rushed. Like I said, you started off with Man of Steel, and
Batman should have got his own movie.
So I agree, Batman should have. I mean, yeah. So I wanted Ben Affleck to get his own movie.
He should have got it first.
He was supposed to, star, direct, produce, write that movie. I wish we got that. I just want to read the script. But so this is what I was saying. I agree and disagree. So yes, do I think Batman vs Superman was a right idea to give us next for after Man of Steel? It's what we got, and I just still think if that movie would have hit, if it would have made the billion that Warner Brothers wanted to come out of it, if it would have been great with the critics, the rest wouldn't have mattered. Because everyone's argument, and this is where I say I also agree and disagree, is why not do what Marvel did? Before the Avengers came out, you gave Iron Man, Captain, Thor, and Hulk all their solo movies. So for this one, you introduce Batman, you introduce Wonder Woman, you get a sneak peek of Cyborg, Aquaman, and Flash, and then you just right afterwards was going to be the Justice League movie.
That's how I think it should have gone.
But at the same time, we wouldn't have that discussion if Batman vs Superman hit.
But it didn't hit.
And that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it didn't hit. But if it did, no one would have cared.
So I think Batman vs Superman would have hit more if we get Man of Steel, we get a Batman movie. Obviously, the Batman movie is a darker tone.
I think the Batman should have been a prequel.
Either, no matter how you do it, whatever. You don't even have to tie. I get what you're saying because you see Ben Affleck in Batman vs Superman at the end, and he sees all the Superman wreckage, and I get what you're saying. No matter how they do it, I think you could have done it differently. I'm sure there's a way that you could have tied it in differently, anyways. But you have Man of Steel, you have Batman. Batman's obviously a darker tone. Wonder Woman. Going off Batman, I think the darker tone would have been more acceptable. Is what I'm trying to say. If you give them all your solo movies, and then we've seen 3 or 4 movies where the tone is like what it is, and then you lead into Batman vs Superman, it would have made more sense. I don't, but it just what makes me mad. Like I said earlier, is everyone was mad about the darker stuff, and now it's like now that's what people want. That's what makes me more mad. Would have been more successful if it did it today? I don't know. That's another question. But I just think they rushed, bro. They were trying to catch the Avengers. The successful plan was literally right in front of them. All you have to do is replicate what Marvel did, and these characters are better than Marvel's characters. The successful thing was right there, bro, and they just had to follow it, in my opinion. And they didn't follow it, and they tried to rush, and they thought that just based off how big Aquaman, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman are, they thought that you put a Justice League movie out, it competes with the Avengers. And I don't think it does. People want the story. People want to resonate. Like, they want to know. Like, they want to see these people. And I don't know.
So, they do it in the comics. The comic you read.
Yeah. They start right off the Justice League.
They start off right. Yes. New 52 starts off instantly with Justice League. And from there, they branch off into their own respective issues. I think that's what they were trying to do. Like I said, I still say, I mean, yes, you're right. It didn't work. But if it did, no one have any issues. Yes, they definitely try to catch Marvel. Dude, do you know that Batman vs Superman came out in March of 2016? You know what movie came out the following month?
What?
Civil War.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that.
That's crazy to think.
Yeah.
2 months, 2 big movies. Critically, Batman vs Superman didn't do well. Critically, I wrote them all down.
But at that time, we'd already gotten 2 Captain America movies. Yeah. Like now, everyone for sure is tuning into the 3rd Captain America. You know, like I don't know.
Batman vs Superman should have made $2 billion. It should have been that type of movie. Batman, we've talked about this before. Batman, Superman, and Spider-Man are the 3 GOATs when it comes to superheroes in general. Doesn't matter how you rank them, that's who the GOATs are. That movie should have made $2 billion easy. It didn't. It made $874 million, which for a regular movie,
that's still pretty good.
It is massive. It is huge.
Yeah.
But for a Batman versus Superman movie, it should have been a lot more. And it got a 29% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like I said, it's crazy to think our highest DCEU movie was Aquaman.
Yeah.
Financially, it's the highest. Rotten Tomatoes only has it at a 65. Wonder Woman is at 823 million, and it has a 93. That's crazy to me.
I think going back to what I said, if Man of Steel was good, a lot of people think it's good. You give Ben Affleck his own movie, and I think Zack Snyder would have killed it. If everyone thinks that's good, Batman vs. Superman does a lot better, in my opinion. But they jumped the gun and went straight to Batman vs. Superman, and I just backfired, bro. And they just couldn't recover. And my biggest blame is on Warner Brothers. That's my biggest blame.
No, I'm telling you, it's very reactionary. Basically, yes, you start off with Superman, and instead of going on to doing, individual movies, they said, all right, what's the biggest thing we can do now? If we don't do Justice League now, all right, do Batman vs. Superman, introduce everyone, go for it, do it now. What's funny is going back to the light and dark stuff. Yeah, so the Snyder Cut, a lot darker. It's in tone of what his trilogy is. Mm-hmm. We had the tragedy happen with that movie. Zack Snyder had to obviously step away. Who does Warner Brothers bring in? The director for the first 2 Avengers movies, Joss Whedon. He comes in, basically rewrites everything, reshoots everything that was already there.
We got the whole CGI fucking mess.
Well, the CGI Superman stuff is also contract stuff with Henry Cavill. So, I blame it, but whatever. But, okay, with a lighter tone, and everyone talked about, DC needs to be lighter. Really? It only had a 39%.
Yeah.
What does that do? It does nothing. Yes, financially, whatever. A Justice League movie should have made more money. It made 661. That whole lighter tone shit doesn't make sense to me at all.
And so going back to it, like I said before, I think if you give each character their own movie before we get the big team up, I think the darker tone becomes acceptable in a way. You give Man of Steel obviously is not super light, has a darker tone. Batman obviously would have had a darker tone. I think the more you give these solo movies that keep that consistent tone, I think after everyone would have accepted it and it would have been good. But yeah, I don't know, bro. It didn't work out, and it just pains me because I love the DC and they're my favorite superheroes, and so it just pains me. I hope that James Gunn can fix it. Like I said before, I have no hopes. Until Warner Brothers I think is out of it, I don't think it's gonna be good.
I told you I have hope just because DC has their own studio now, so they just report to James.
See, and I'll believe it when I see it. I think they report to James, but I could totally see Warner Brothers stepping in, bro. And I could totally see them stepping over, and I could totally see James Gunn eventually just bouncing. I totally could see it. 100%.
Speaking of the bouncing, I don't think I sent it to you. So I saw a tweet today. I should have put this on my tweets. It is being reported, apparently, that Warner Brothers Discovery is about 60%. Is it either 60% about to file bankruptcy?
I think I saw that.
Or they're 60% the way there, whatever.
Some Disney, maybe not Disney. Somebody buy DC.
That's insane.
Somebody buy DC.
They were just bought.
So. I hope so. I hope somebody buys them.
That's insane, dude. So yeah, people were saying that, all right, James is over here saying, I got to jump ship now, and I got this whole plan, so what's going to happen? I don't know. I have faith in James Gunn, see what's going to happen. Hopefully Warner Brothers doesn't go bankrupt.
Yeah.
So we get these movies, we get all these plans, so we finally get DC characters on the screen the way they're supposed to be seen. But yeah.
Just in short, I want to ask, I genuinely want to hear people's opinions, so please tell us what went wrong with the DCEU. Whether you give us your plan of how it would have worked or genuinely tell us what you think went wrong, because just quick points, I think they should have given each of their characters their own movie before they jumped to Batman vs. Superman. I think they should have stayed consistent with the darker tone, and I think eventually it would have worked. Those are just some quick things, and I screw Warner Brothers. That's how I feel about it. And then your quickest points are of why you think the DC didn't work. What are they?
Warner Brothers is so reactionary.
Yeah. But genuinely tell us what went wrong with the DCU. How would you fix it? Or tell us how it would have worked. Like, give us your plan of what you think would have worked. I'm curious to see how. Like, comment on our YouTube video or post. I'm sure we'll post a clip of this.
Yeah.
I genuinely want to hear everyone's opinions because it's a tragedy, dude.
For the DCU, I'm telling you, I can go on and on about it. I've spent years dealing with this.
It's just a tragedy, bro. It's a tragedy.
We talked about this for years. We've defended these DCU movies. For the most part, we've liked everything. So there's 14 movies. I think there's maybe 2 in there we could care less about.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe for me, it's like Birds of Prey and and Wonder Woman 84. Other than that, I've liked everything.
Yeah, but it's not what we like. We need everybody to like it.
No,
That's
yeah, I know.
So, but you want to end it there?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any other comments.
So, thanks guys for watching and listening. We'll be back next week with episode 11.
Double digits.
Yeah, we're in the double digits now.
Yep.
But until then, we'll catch you guys later.
Later.